Hey guys, this is Mark with the Daily Hustle Show, and today we're going to be talking about the daily sales tip that we just posted, which is 3 words: keep it human. Okay, what I refer to with that is keep your conversations on a human level. There's a lot of sales gurus out there, right, on social media, on the internet. You can just Google them. One will tell you to do one thing, one will tell you to do another thing, one will tell you to do this thing. At the end of the day, if you keep it human and go back to basics, which is what we all learned growing up, just have a conversation with somebody. That simple stuff works. Okay, just have a conversation. Consider when you were in an argument with a significant other, right? And you just were not seeing eye to eye. You were clashing, right? What would anybody tell you to do, whether it was friends, family, loved ones, therapists, right? What would they all tell you? Just listen, talk and listen, have a conversation. Sometimes we're so busy in life that we're not having a conversation. You're saying one thing, they're saying another thing. You're kind of talking at each other, and you're just bouncing off each other, right? Think about if you were to throw a ball at a wall. It's just going to bounce off the wall because you're throwing it at a wall, right? If you throw something at somebody, it usually hits them and falls down because you're throwing it at them, right? If you're talking at somebody, it's never really a conversation. It's just one person leading the way, and then when it's the other person's turn to talk, they're leading the way, and all you're doing is leading the way to different avenues, right? It's the same thing in sales. No matter if that person's on the other side of the table, if they're on the other side of the laptop, because if you're emailing back and forth, or if they're on the other side of the phone and you're just having a discussion with them. Keep it human, keep it simple. Just have a simple conversation. Now, when we discuss having a conversation, what does that really look like? Well, if we can keep it simple, the conversation is just understanding your client's needs, okay? Understanding their wants, understanding their pains, understanding their problems, right? That's all it really is. Talk and listen, okay? And some people will even say, talk, listen, repeat. It's true. You're just talking to them and understanding them and asking questions. If they say to you, let's say you're in car sales. Okay, let's throw that one out there. Let's say you're in car sales. That customer comes in and they say to you, oh yeah, the car's all over the place. Oh, okay, sounds good. Okay, so what are you looking for now? You have no idea what all over the place really means. Okay, it could be just in their driveway. It could be just when they get into their lot at work because of the way that the parking lot is structured, right? There could be hills and everything. You have no idea what they mean when they say, well, the car's all over the place. Okay, so ask another level question. And when we go into deeper level questioning, that's another show that we're going to do. That's going to be one of our tips coming up in the future. However, when you're having this discussion, you want to understand them. Let's transition to Windows. If you're a Windows sales rep and you're sitting across the table from the clients, right, or client, and you say, tell me a little bit about the current windows in the house. Oh, I don't like them. Okay, and what are you guys looking for the new windows? You have no idea what they didn't like. Because as human beings, we get to that point where we get excited, right, where we can, and you guys know I do not like this phrase, we're getting close to closing the deal, right? You cannot close a deal without solving their problem, okay? If they tell you, I just need new windows, and you give them the most expensive window, in your brain, you're thinking, hey, I solved their problem. Did you? Because you gave them the most expensive window. Maybe you're a good sales rep. You were able to kind of persuade them into getting the most expensive window, when in reality, they just needed new windows, right? They just needed new, simple windows. And they could have just gotten the cheapest option because all they told you was, I just need new windows. Okay? But if you ask, okay, when you say new windows, are you referring to different colors? Are you referring to single pane, double pane, triple pane? Some of the windows have those, they look like dividers, right? They just kind of paste right onto the windows, those old school kind of look. They are actually coming back. But again, you don't know what they're talking about because you're not having a conversation with them. You're kind of talking at them and they're talking at you. I don't know, I just want new windows. Okay, perfect. And what colors are you looking for? You're just throwing things at them. You're not understanding them. What does I just need new windows really mean? What don't you like about your current windows? Back to the car sales example. When was the last time you walked into a dealership and that car sales rep said, hey, what don't you like about your current car? They never really ask you. Some will, but most will not. right? They have no idea what you're really looking for. They just go to you as soon as you walk through the front door and they go, hey, my name is such and such. How can I help you? Oh, I'm just looking. And if you're not just looking and you say, oh, I'm just looking, I like the Mustangs, right? Oh, great. Yeah, this is a great car. Have you seen the Shelby GT 500? Most of them say, yeah, I've seen it. They're expensive. You don't even know what they want yet. You haven't had a conversation with them. And it gets me kind of amped up because I look at it and I go, how can you even have this discussion about what possible solutions you're going to give them if you have no idea what their pain points are? You have no idea what their problems are. You have no idea what they do not like. Makes sense? If we go back to basics and just keep it human, we're just going to have conversations. That's it. Okay? Think about that a little bit. If you can just have a conversation, it makes things a lot easier. Let's say if we keep this so simple, something that we can all relatively relate to. How about, hey, honey, what's for dinner tonight? Okay? If it's, hey, honey, what's for dinner tonight? Well, him or her is going to say to you, I don't know. What do you want? Right? We all know that, right? Maybe you'll get the response of, I don't care. Whatever. Maybe you'll get an actual response of, let's do, I don't know, chicken and broccoli, whatever. If you do not want chicken and broccoli, you can maybe come back with the conversation of, yeah, chicken and broccoli sounds good. Any other options? Right? It's just a conversation. If they say chicken and broccoli and you say, all right, and you really do not want that, you're just not really in the mood for that, if you just say okay to that, you're now giving them that false expectation, that false hope, right? That, oh, you're just happy with chicken and broccoli. Well, what if you're not really in the mood for that? Well, then you have to have a discussion. You got to have a conversation about it, And I think a lot of the times what we do as human beings is, and this is coming directly from a past employer, a friend of mine, that always says, human beings always take the path of least resistance. If you think about it, is it easier to lie or is it easier to tell the truth? It's typically easier to lie. I'm not saying that's the right way, but the path of least resistance is to lie, okay? Well, that's because when you tell the truth, you're going to be met with some resistance, so you'd rather just kind of shy away. Well, if your significant other says, I think I can go with chicken and broccoli for tonight, well, the path of least resistance would say, okay, but then you're now backing off. Instead of maybe meeting with a little bit of resistance with respect of, is there any other options other than that? It sounds good, but I'm not really in the mood for that. Is there any other options, right? So if we take that example that we've all been in, right? And you're probably talking to your significant other, being like, hey, you should listen to this. It's talking about you. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's just a discussion. It's just a conversation, right? A discussion and a conversation is the same thing. Okay, you have some common ground that you're trying to figure out, and you're just having a conversation about it, you're just communicating with it. Now, let's say we take that example that we just talked about what you want for dinner tonight, and we now move that into car sales, window sales, roofing sales, HVAC sales, real estate, right? Very simple. If you're in real estate, okay, what are you looking for? Oh, I want 2,000 square feet, I want to be in this neighborhood, and I want to be under this price tag. Okay, let's go look. What if that's really not realistic? What if they want all that, but their price tag is half of what they're looking for actually costs? Are you not going to tell them that? As the sales professional and as that real estate agent, you're the professional that they're trusting. You have to tell them in a respectful way that's not real. You're not going to get what you're looking for at that price point unless we make some changes. Are you willing to make some changes? Are you willing to have a conversation about some of these changes with me? Because if not, we can't even leave this table because it's nothing for me to look at and show you. If you say that with respect, they're going to understand it. It's your job to professionally help them and solve their problems. You have to understand their problems. If they're telling you, I want 2,000 square feet, I want this many bedrooms, and I want to be under this price tag, you don't even know what their pain points are, what their problems are at their current house. Just ask them, where do you currently live? Do you rent or own? How much square footage do you have? Does that work for you? Asking all these questions allows you to have a deeper understanding of your client or clients. right? It's the same thing when you're sitting down talking about windows. What do you not like about your current windows? If you're in car sales, what do you not like about your current car? And so on. What do you not like about your current roof, right? So it's the same thing. It's having a discussion and a conversation, understanding them. Never once in this video have we talked about using any kind of Jedi mental warfare and trying to manipulate your clients and persuade them to think the way you want them to think, or you kind of go around in circles to get them to come to you and do exactly what you want. Your job is to solve problems. That's your job. You have to offer solutions to your clients. And if your client comes to you and you're selling windows, they go, I just need new windows, and you give them the most expensive, you might think, well, I'm the sales rep in this company. I'm top dog. Okay, but did you really solve their problem? Well, yeah, I gave them new windows. Yeah, but what if the next sales rep walks through that door and goes, well, yeah, you can do that if you want to spend 40 grand, but this option here will give the exact same effect because all you want is new windows. It's 25 grand. I mean, if you want to spend the extra 15 grand, so be it. But I can give you that too. But you just told me you just wanted new windows. If you want to keep it simple based on our discussions, here's your options. I gave you 3 of them under 30 grand. You want to spend 40? Do you see how I created that doubt in that quick little 15-second synopsis? If I sit in front of a client and you just talk to them about 40 grand, you think you're going to get that deal closed by the end of the day, the end of the week, the end of the month. I walk in, or some rep like myself walks in and says, well, you can do that if you'd like, if you want to spend 40 grand. I can give you some of those options as well, and I'm going to be in that price bubble. But you did tell me you were just looking for just new windows. To keep it basic and keep it simple. These are some options here, and they're all, under 30 grand. If you want that most expensive one, I can give you that, but I'm just trying to save you some money here. These will give you the exact same thing. You just said new windows. Well, here you go. This is $25K. Do you see how I'm offering them solutions? $15,000 less than that other sales rep. Because I took the time to understand them. I took the time to keep it human, right? And have a discussion and have a conversation with them and understand what they're really looking for. Okay? Just like the car salesman or car sales rep option that I gave earlier about, have you seen the Shelby GT 500? Because you like Mustangs. Yes, but you didn't understand their pain points. Because Shelby GT 500, I'm not huge on Mustangs, so I don't know if it goes any higher. I don't know. They have these super snakes and stuff. But let's say that's the top of the line. If that's the top of the line, and all they said is, I just want a Mustang. I've always wanted to own a Mustang. Well, then you want to own the best one. Do you? Ask them what they want. Do you care about horsepower? Do you care about rear-wheel drive, front-wheel drive? Do you care about the muscle look? Do you care about the body kit in the front? Dual exhaust, a loud exhaust. Help me understand what you're looking for. They may point you to the direction of just the basic, baseline, I'm assuming 6-cylinder Mustang. Maybe there's a 4-cylinder out there. I don't know, but you know what I mean. A basic Mustang. So that other rep comes out and goes, listen, you want to spend 90 to 100K on that Shelby, go right ahead. But I can put you in this standard simple Mustang for 50K. Again, I'm making these numbers up. But I can put you in there for 50K, and that's half. I'm cutting your payments in half. That sales rep got an opportunity to have a discussion with that client, kept it human, and understood their pains, understood what they're really looking for and what they need. Okay? So by just keeping it human, I've seen so many sales gurus online talking about, you got to ask them this question at this exact point. Yes, it's very true. There's certain questions to ask at certain points of the conversation, 110%. However, if you're going in there saying things like, well, if you want the best, this is it right here. Okay, well, what if they didn't tell you they want the best? What if they said, well, no, I just want a Mustang. I just want new windows. It doesn't have to be the best. I just want new windows. I just want a Mustang. I've always wanted a Mustang. Well, then you're now assuming they want the best. Because you're doing these like Jedi mind tricks all the way through the appointment, trying to get them and to convince them and persuade them to go with the most expensive, when in reality that's not what they want by any means, right? So that's the point, is if you keep it human and just have a discussion, just go back and forth. That's what a conversation and a discussion is. You ask questions, you get responses. They'll ask questions, you'll give responses. That's literally all it is. If you keep it as human as possible, okay, you're going to get more out of it. You're going to see your sales just skyrocket. As I said in the Daily Tip on TikTok and a couple of our YouTube shorts and even on Instagram at the Daily Hustle Show, I did that. Skyrocket, okay? Just have a discussion with people. And I'm going to end it with this. This is a real-life example, and I like to end a lot of my videos with real-life examples. When I was selling a specific product, I would go there, and the product that I was selling was very densely populated with competition. We weren't just the only ones on the block, okay? There was probably 10 on each block, right? Every city had at least 20 or 30 of their own companies who sell the same product, okay? We were more of a bigger company. Now, what I was selling, like I said, was a densely populated competitor pool. However, we were still selling the same thing. We were selling a specific product. Yep, there's different manufacturers, just like, selling cars, right? And I was not selling cars. But there's different manufacturers. But at the end of the day, we were selling cars. Again, wasn't selling cars. I'm just kind of, overshadowing what the product was. Long story short, I developed my success because I sat with my clients and asked questions to better understand them. And when they would come to me and feel comfortable and feel that level of trust, that level of rapport, right, that connection, they would just spill everything out. I had clients, this is the real life example. I had a client, this was this past summer of 22, okay? Client looked at me and said, the other company came in and said this would be around 30. I go, 30? I go, well, I can give you something for 30, but I don't know what I'm going to have to add to this price to get you to 30. And she starts laughing. I go, well, let me see what they gave you. And I looked at it, I go, it's the same thing that we have. So why is it 30? Now, some of you might think, well, maybe it's the overhead. It wasn't, because we know the company. That company was actually smaller than ours. They were price gouging. And that happens. In sales, we know that. And as a consumer, there's that sales wall, a sales resistance wall that we do our best to try to break down periodically throughout the appointment, right? In the B2B world, it might take months to break that all down. That's fine. With this woman, and she was a great, great lady, she was experiencing a no AC situation, so she was already upset. And I said, look, that's fine. If you want to spend 30 grand, that's perfectly fine. I go, but this is the exact option. I go, look, and I showed her the proposal. And then I showed her their proposal. I go, it's the same brand. It's the same model. Everything's exactly the same. I go, I think they were 29 and change. And we were at like 18. And I said, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. And I go through everything, and I reiterated it back to her. And I go, you talked about this and this. This is what I have here. Am I missing anything? She goes, no. I go, is there anything that you told them that you didn't tell me? She goes, no. It was very simple. They came in like you. They kind of did their thing, and they gave me a price. She goes, you asked me some more questions than they did, but that was it. And I realized that's what it was. Consider the window idea. They wanted to give the most expensive option without actually understanding that they just wanted new windows. That's the thing, is the option that they gave, they price gouged her. They added all this additional money and all these little extras that they had fancy words for. When I said, we're just putting it right there and putting the other one right over there, everything's easy. I said, let me FaceTime my boss and make sure. I FaceTime my boss at the time, and he said, yeah, it just seems like a simple install. You're good to go. I go, okay. And I solved her problem. Okay, and yes, the deal was closed. I know I don't like that phrase. However, I provided the solution. I did provide other solutions as well, and I made my way up to 30K, almost 30K. I gave her some other stuff that they didn't even give. And we ended up, solving the solution. We did a little extra stuff that she said, you know what, if I'm saving that much money, let's do a little bit of this and that. I said, okay, no problem. And we did it. It came from me just keeping it human, sitting down, understanding her, and understanding what she was really looking for. When I was able to do that, that's when I was able to solve her problem efficiently, and that led to more and more clients from that point on, more and more solutions that I was able to provide. Thank you guys for listening. This is Mark at the Daily Hustle Show. Please like and subscribe on Instagram. Same thing on YouTube and TikTok. We do daily sales tips. And then every day after that sales tip, we like to release a little bit more in-depth video on what we're referring to. And today, as we said, was keep it human. Just have a conversation with your clients. That's it. Keep it human. Keep it simple. You'll see your sales skyrocket. Thanks, guys.